Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Namaste Wellness Show, where we talk about all things holistic health for the mind, body, and spirit, for people and pets, with a touch of cultural soul. Today I have another special guest. You know, I love to say all of my guests are very special. She is a local entrepreneur, and we're actually going to be waiting for her. She's not going to be ready to come on right away. So hopefully she is going to be joining us very shortly, but I'll just go ahead and go through a little introduction. Her name is Leka Smith, and she's actually an experienced massage therapist, which I'm also a licensed massage therapist. And she has over 24 years of service as a massage therapist. Throughout her career, she has assisted numerous individuals in maintaining their mind, body, and spirit through her exceptional massage therapy skills. With her award-winning reputation and the trust of celebrities, Leka is recognized for her compassionate approach as a massage therapist. Her specialty lies in helping individuals cultivate self-awareness and also self-care. I want to add that too, because we'll be talking about that today. And in addition to running a highly acclaimed 5-star spa in Southfield, Michigan, USA. Southfield is just north of Detroit. And in fact, Southfield is actually called Little Detroit in our area. Leka also takes on the role of mentoring upcoming massage therapists, as well as young athletes as well, on self-care. So we're going to be talking about that as soon as she joins us today. And I just want to talk a little bit about how we met. We were actually working at an event, and last year, and it was in the spring, every year in our area, the teachers, they have Teachers Appreciation Day, they have Nurses Appreciation Day. So they hire massage therapists to come out and provide massage therapy for nurses, teachers, etc. on site. And that's basically what I do. I'm basically a corporate massage therapist. So that's kind of right up my alley. So we were actually working at a school together, and she was telling me about her plans that she has on mentoring young Black athletes, football players, baseball players, cheerleading teams, and that type of thing. So a few months after we worked together in the spring, she reached out and told me she was going to be doing a special event with young football players, high school football players that had just finished their school year. And she invited me to come and teach a yoga class. In fact, I wasn't her first choice as a yoga teacher, but her yoga teacher that she had planned to come out canceled at the last minute. And so she asked me if I would come and teach yoga to her high school football players that she was having this whole pamper day for. And when I got there, I did the yoga class, and I was really impressed with the young lady that came after me, because after the yoga, she had meditation. And I thought, wow, what an awesome thing for youth to learn is how to meditate, because it seems that our children, our young people, are just kind of at war with themselves. So many children are fighting each other. They're fighting within themselves. And I think the real fight is actually within ourselves. And so that's why I was really impressed with this program that she put on. And she did a whole day of pampering for these young football players, high school football players. She had massage therapists there. She had yoga for them. Of course, they brought in a nice lunch for the young people to have. She also did this wonderful meditation, and I was so impressed with Chantel's meditation. I had her on my show a few weeks ago. I'm really hoping that I'm just pausing here for a second, because I'm looking at my text messages in hopes that I hear from my guest today, Leka. So hopefully she'll be here real soon. And I'm just trying to fill in some time until she gets here because I know you guys will not be disappointed to hear about her background and what she does for young people. For because, as I said, I think our young people really need to learn self-care at a very young age, and I believe it really also starts with the parents too. If parents are knowing how to take care of themselves well, then they are going to naturally be able to offer that to their children. So, in other words, that's basically how we met. And since then, we have stayed connected. Leka runs a very awesome spa right here in Southfield, as I mentioned in the introduction there. And she runs weekly meditations too. So she's got so many things to offer us. And I'm really hoping that she'll be here very soon. I appreciate your patience to give me a little bit more time. And maybe I'll just talk about the work that I've done as a massage therapist. So, she's in the green room. So let's go ahead and let Leka come on in. I've already done the intro. Hi, Leka.
Hi, how
You
are you?
made
Thank you.
it.
I'm sorry. I'm not technically savvy, so I had a little trouble, but I apologize.
That's okay. We're just, like I said, it's just a conversation. No worries, no worries. I'm so glad that you could be here. I already told people, I already told our viewers and our listeners, about your background in massage therapy, how you have an award-winning reputation, even with celebrities in the area. So if you want to just go ahead and just tell us a little bit more about your background and why and how you got into massage therapy or mind body work.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I truly appreciate it. I'm excited to be able to talk with you today. I've been a
Thank you.
massage therapist now for 24 years, so I'll be celebrating 25 years next year. So I'm getting ready to do something big with that. I've actually been, thank you. I've been brick and mortar since 2019, right before COVID. So I'll be celebrating
Wow.
5 years being brick and mortar this year. And I'm going to
Okay.
celebrate because baby, it's been a year. It's been some time,
It's been
with
some years.
COVID and everything. Trying to survive through this it's been challenging, but hey, God didn't say give up, so I'm still standing.
Good,
But
good.
a little bit about how I got started. I was a nursing assistant, and
Mm,
of course, I always believed in patient care and making sure that my seniors got bathed properly. And I would do that, and then I would rub their backs afterwards, and they would just fall asleep. And so one
oh,
day I was doing a home visit, and the daughter was overwhelmed, and she wanted a massage. So I said, well, let me just work on you a little bit. And I did. And that next day I came back and she said, have you ever thought about going into massage therapy? Because I fell asleep. It felt like I was on the cruise ship, And so
wow.
there it began. I just decided to let me see what that looked like. I never heard of massage therapy at first, didn't know what it was. I looked for schools, and I said the first school that respond, I was gonna go. And hey, now I'm here.
Okay, well that's awesome. I always like to hear the backstory, how people get into what they get into. So that's interesting. I didn't realize you were actually in healthcare. You were a nurse's
Yes,
assistant. Which now did you work at a hospital
yeah,
or
13 years.
nursing home or
Yeah, I did it all. I did private. I did nursing homes. I worked in St. Mary's Hospital. I did the hospital, which I really liked. I worked in hospice units. I traveled with hospice. I
wow.
worked on the cardiologist floor for a long time. Emergency. So kind of was bounced around in the field of massage therapy. It's a field as far as CNA work.
Okay, wow, that's pretty powerful working, especially working in hospice. That's something that personally is very hard for me. When I was in massage school, I volunteered at a hospice facility, but it was for the staff that care for the hospice patients. I know um, a lot of people tell me, oh, I could never work in a mental health, in a psychiatric hospital. I worked in a psychiatric hospital for years. That's one thing, but I just, working in hospice, that's got to be a very special person to work in that environment. So God bless you for doing that. So you probably were able to really connect with a lot of clients once you got your license in massage therapies, connecting with hospitals or hospice and things like that. Do you still work with that vulnerable population, or I think we might have lost the connection? So give us just a moment. I apologize for the delay. Leka, are you still there, Leka?
Yep, I'm here. Can you see me?
Video. Oh, the video just dropped out. Okay. Okay, good.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I've carried it on because I've worked in hospice as a massage therapist. So I've seen it on both sides. I've taken care of them as they were passing, and then of course when they passed away, I had to do the bodies and take them to the morgue and everything. So I did all that, and then I seen it from a massage therapy position where we worked on them. In hospice, it's not always they're just dying. It's just that their condition will not get better. So I seen that it helped them with touch, because seniors don't get touched a lot. So they look forward to that, and that really kind of, some of them were even often able to get off of hospice, and they live longer just because they were getting that extra care.
Wow.
So I thought that was, and when I tell you I traveled, I was in Port Huron, Richmond, some cities I never heard of. I've been
The
in
state
South
of
Lyon. Yeah,
yeah.
it's just all over, and it's also the spiritual connection that you see too in experiencing death in a different way.
Right.
So definitely it carries on, even when I'm seeing clients that are cancer patients or whatever. And honestly, I'm really kind of glad that I had that CNA background, because it helped me to deal with so much on the field. You think, oh, massage therapy is different, but there's such a connection with the healthcare, and how we take care of them. It matters.
Right. That is so important, because I wanted to talk about the benefits of massage. And I just want to interject here real quick. I did do massage in a senior center for a while, and it was really heartbreaking when some of the seniors would pass that, you come back, I'd come back the next week or the next month and find out, oh, so Mrs. So-and-so passed, or Mr. So-and-so passed. And it was just really so heartbreaking. I guess that's why I said it. Maybe I don't have the heart for that. I had the heart to work, more in mental health with people that were going through psychosis and stuff like that. But the population that was sick or like that, it was really hard for me to work in that environment. But so God bless you, and God bless people that do work in that environment. You are truly heroes, and people that are much needed, because people do go through, and the family members, just thinking of the family members that really appreciated you being there and taking care of their loved ones.
It was a really, even with that being, like you said, in the healthcare field, it made you appreciate life a little bit more, but it also made you because like you said, if that was one of the things that I learned that was hard for me. Eventually, of course, I had to leave hospice from a CNA standpoint, because I would be so excited, and you build relationships with them, and then you come in and they're gone. Or it's been times that I would say, one, I had a client who, like I told you, got off of hospice because she was doing so well. And I said, you know what, I'm still going to come visit you, because she was just a light. And you know how we get so busy, and eventually I was able to get back there. But when I did, she was unconscious. She was on her way, leaving. And so I was just in that moment, like, wanted her to make sure that she saw that I was there, because I wanted her to know that I did keep my promise and came back. But you never know.
She probably knew you were there. She probably And they say when we pass, the last thing to go is our hearing. So if you were speaking to her, she heard your voice and she knew, so I think we take spiritual life for granted. And I know we're kind of getting off the topic, but I would just want to say a little bit about my mom. My mom was a mental health recipient. She was diagnosed with, mental illness and that kind of thing. And one of the things, but she was very sharp. She could carry on a conversation about, what was going on, current events and all that. And we all know that mental illness has really nothing to do with the person's intelligence. But then she would start saying how she saw family members that had passed on, or she saw my dad came to the door, but he wouldn't come inside, or she saw her sister walking down the hall. She was in the hospital one day and she saw her sister walking down the hall that had passed away. And all of that, I don't understand that. I've never had the experience, quite frankly, it kind of freaks me out a little bit. But my husband said something really special one day. He said, your mom is just able to communicate in two worlds. And I remember her saying, you shouldn't be afraid of people passing on. And she believed in that spirit world, and really, how can we not? Because there's so many things that go on in our lives that we don't understand how it happens. So it must be spiritual. So anyway.
And like you said, I know we don't want to get off the subject, but
yeah,
to be honest with you, I've experienced a lot of that. I've experienced,
really?
Yes, I experienced being in the room when they actually have passed away, and feeling I forget I can't think of the word right now, but feeling them, the wrath. When they lift them up, you could feel it. You could feel the presence.
Really?
Say that.
Oh,
And I've experienced a lot of that, and that's why I can definitely, I look at things from a different perspective, because I know personally,
right.
talking with patients and they're thinking that I'm the loved one that passed away, and them having
Oh.
the conversation, even asking for forgiveness, and saying, saying the person's name and saying, forgive me, I did this and I did that. And so because I've had training with that, we would know to say, well,
Oh.
it's okay, we forgive you, so that they would be okay. And then when I realized that, I remember calling a nurse, because I didn't know that he was actually thinking I was his wife, right? I called her
Okay.
to let her know that he was, I said, well, what, call his
Yes.
wife and let her know that I told him that she forgave him, just so she'll know what I said. And she said his wife has died a long time ago. And
Oh,
that's what
wow.
I was like, wow, but he just needed that forgiveness because he was not getting ready to transition. So definitely I've seen a lot, even on the table. We can even connect that with coming back to the table as far as
True.
massage, with just people in general on my table. I
Mm-hmm.
get so many different things of and seeing different things that they've been through, and massage is a way to reconnect with their bodies in so
That's
many
true.
ways,
Mm-hmm.
and even mental health. So even getting into the subject of football and sports, and I know we'll get into there.
Mm-hmm.
I've had sports, some athletes who now come because they're trying to reconnect with their body, because guess what? They had to be great, they had to be on this pedestal. They had to please everybody.
Yeah.
They didn't have a chance to work on themselves or really see who they are.
Right.
And so the work on the massage table has helped them to reconnect, to deal with trauma situations, and to deal with things that ultimately has helped them to go from seeing me once a week to now once a month to even 6 weeks,
Right.
so it's
Right.
definitely a progression, but it also it deals with that as a whole.
Right. Well, that's a good. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and talk about that. The work that you do with young athletes and self-care, not just, all, male, female, the whole shebang, you work with them. And it sounds like you also work with some professional athletes as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you work, you do work with professional athletes. But we want to really focus in on the young people, and how, tell us about your passion for working with young athletes, and how did that start?
Well, you know what? When we decided that my son could go ahead, he had an interest in football, and
Mhm.
he was 10 years old at the time. And, I kind of have a reservation about it because, being a therapist, you see things. And so
Yeah,
a friend,
injury. Oh, yeah.
yeah, a friend of the family was taking his son, and my son had inquired about it. That's kind of how it opened up. So
Mhm.
basically, took him. He never played football before. I would take him to the games, but he wasn't like just into it as like some young kids were at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But when he started playing, I guess he was a natural, and the coaches just were so pleased with his abilities, and so he ended up taking it on. And so I realized, though, at that age, as I'm watching them in practice and watching them play, like, these boys are getting hit hard. They're
Yes, yes.
no
I
difference
don't know how they do it. It's
between.
amazing. Yeah.
And unfortunately, my son was one of the ones that was hitting them, so um,
Wow.
their bodies just took a lot. And so I started working with my son. And then I just said, you know what? These boys don't even know about their bodies. It's one thing too with the coaches and everything. They want to take them to practice and stuff, but they weren't stretching properly before. A
Okay.
lot of the things that they need, they weren't getting. So I just decided to put something together for them. And it was just one of the things I said, you know what? I want to introduce them to massage. We gave them facials, expressional facials. We did foot care where we put their feet. We did the massage. Then, of course, it was kind of like an event. So we fed them. My nephew was with me. He donated hygiene bags. So we had toothpaste, toothbrush, soap, everything that they need to take care of themselves. We put into that in the little what you call it, the
The
little
gift
case.
bag? The gift?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a gift
So
bag.
yeah, and so they enjoyed everything. And it was so funny because my son, he got home, and you would have thought I never gave a toothbrush, a dental floss.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Who
Yeah.
loves toothbrushes? And I'm like, this is the same toothbrush. But okay, that worked. And the boys really enjoyed it. It did something for them. They were able to talk with my nephew at the time. He was a young 25-year-old engineer. So we had and one of my friends who teaches stretch. She has her own business. She came and did stretching techniques with them. And that was just the first year. And then I just felt like, wow, this is something I feel like these boys need this. So now we're in year 4. So I just
And I was with you. So you guys, last year I did it with you. We did the yoga, and I met Chantel. She did the meditation, and on and on and on. So it's steadily growing. And I can just hear the excitement in your voice. I can tell you are very passionate about this. And I know it's just going to blow up and become so successful. But go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off. I just wanted to interject a few words there. Go ahead.
Well, no, well, actually, just to let you know, when you helped, that was my introduction to a team actually hiring us to do their whole football team.
Oh,
And
wow.
so that was an extension of us doing it once a year. So I only do it once a year as an event. And then last year I was asked to come do the football team. And then we ended up doing the volleyball team. The girls just had to come in there. But my focus has always been the boys, because guess what? They are leaders. They are our kings. They have to know how to take care of themselves. It helps with them mentally. It helps want to be more motivated to get a career that can fit the lifestyle of them being able to afford it, and so we add when you came on, I knew then that it was one thing to have definitely the massage, the facials, the foot soaks and everything, but they also needed to have, how do they relax, what can they do to calm down, or when they're in those anxiety moments, or when it's overwhelming for them, how do they then relax? So we thought of meditation, of course, and yoga. And they took people are, a lot of times they think, oh, these young boys, they won't like this, or they loved every aspect of all of it. The yoga, the meditation, they really were in tune with that. And it also taught them something. So now also we want to kind of include journaling, but we're still doing it. But for the most part, when I was doing it, it was out of my pocket. And of course, I love doing that. But I knew that I wanted to grow it. And I wanted more boys to be able to see and get the benefit of it. So I was grateful that ATAP, which is the arts performance school in Pontiac, donated the school for me to be able to have the event at a larger capacity. So I'm so excited about that. Superintendent Mrs. Williams does an amazing job of introducing her students to a variety of different modalities, and so that really says a lot about her in the school. But they really, one of the athletic directors came up to me and said how he had a young student there who never smiled. He never seen him smile. And after that event, he said he was so happy. He was smiling. He said that just warmed his heart to see that really impacted him. So we definitely, the passion just comes from seeing these young boys coming from different backgrounds. And guess what I've learned, because I see college kids too. I at one 2 years ago, I had Eastern Michigan University football players with me.
Wow.
Yeah, and they came and they were like their mentors, and they got the services. And then last year they were all coming to me because they also were excited to see that we were starting these boys at such a young age so that they can be trained in that. They said they wish they would have had it when they were younger because it could have helped with injuries. So like when
Oh,
they were coming to
goodness.
me, yeah, when they were coming to me from the football season, we were able to get them in the recovery state sooner than later. And so, because that's really important too on a college level, because if you're not performing well, now you got teams looking at you. Now, if you're not playing and you're on the side,
Yep.
may not be good for you, a good look for you. So they have
Well,
to try.
let me interject. Detroit had the NFL draft this year. Did you participate in that at all? That was awesome.
You know what I did? I'm sorry, my phone. I'm trying to plug this phone up. I apologize, but
Uh,
where you?
Okay. Just having just a
Yeah.
few technical difficulties here. Okay. You good?
Um, I did. You know what? I'm with the Boys and Girls Club, so I was able to participate and in the activities with them. I did. I was going to participate on a larger level, but I'm still going through my certification period. So some of the things that I wanted to do, I wasn't able to. But I was able to go to events that I was able to promote the self-care event for the young boys. So it's an association with the football moms. So I did that event, and that was really nice and insightful. It was kind of good because I am a football mom, and then I'm a teen
Mm-hmm.
mom, and then
Yeah.
I'm. And so the information, and I was able to meet some more football players that may be able to help me with the event that we're doing now. So I'm
Oh.
excited to get that on the books as well.
We'll talk about the event that you have coming, a little bit about the event coming up in June.
Yeah, so this is us doing it a little bit bigger. Like I said, ATOP has donated their school for me to be able to do this and provide the services to the young boys. So we do have some guest speakers that will come on June 1st. The event is going to be between two it starts at 2 to 6, and it's going to be from ages 10 to 17 young males that will be able to come in for free and get the services. So they will get massages, they will get foot soaks, they will get facials. We're going to still do the traditional thing that I've been doing, the hygiene bags, having some fun activities for them. We're definitely going to have yoga sessions for them, meditation. I didn't want to make this about physical. So I didn't want to do anything where they had to do training things, because they get that already. They go to the
Right.
camps and they
Mhm.
get that. This is strictly about
Right.
them learning about self-care. I have a
Right.
social worker who is a sports social worker that will come in and talk about those things so that they can give them tools to help them as they grow, as they learn
Mhm.
their own potential. So some of
Right.
them may go to the college and play, or high school, college, NFL. Some of them won't. What does that look like for them when their hopes are, oh, I'm going to be an NFL player? It's not just, let me be clear, it's not just football. I've invited, the first year it was football because that's how my
Mhm.
son started. But I
Mhm.
realized that it's over across the board. So
Right.
I opened it up to all sports. So if it's hockey, if it's basketball, karate, soccer,
Nice. Nice.
baseball, it's overall, and it is not just for one group. It is a diverse thing because I work with so many different clients from different backgrounds, and guess
Mhm.
what? They're not getting the self-care. This is something that I learned in doing this event. That it's not new, but it's new. It's a new concept. So
Mhm.
it's taking people time to really understand, and they like it, but to
Yeah.
warm up to it, to really hold on to it. And
Right.
so that's
Absolutely.
why I'm
Absolutely.
having the event so that we can get more awareness of it out, get more players that can have get impacted by it, to where now we can really take this somewhere. And then, of course, if the team wants us to come to them, we can do that. But this is just kind of gives them the variety of what self-care really looks like.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's so much going on. I'm really excited because one of the goals of my podcast is, since we are coming from the Detroit, Michigan area, Detroit has had such a bad rap in the past, and maybe still has a little bad rap, not so bad as some of the other major cities anymore, I don't think. But I just want people to know that we are really doing something positive and awesome in this city now. And I hope that it can inspire other cities and other places where things are not going on the greatest. I'm not going to name any cities. Everybody knows who they are, but just being inspired that doing things like this and self-care is so important, especially for the young people, especially for young Black youth, and any other youth that are considered, may not have the best start in life, or whatever. I don't care if you're Black, white, blue, purple, whatever your start is in life. I think this is something that young people really need. And so I just want to shout out to the parents, like yourself, where you saw a need there, and to not only just self-care for yourself first, as a parent, is so important. And I know that's so important, but to see that how valuable this can be for your child, because you hear so much on the news now about children having anxiety, depression, especially girls. They're saying more so girls even than boys, but boys have, all children, young people go through something. We all went through something as a teenager, but it seems like things are almost out of control now. So I just really want to emphasize the importance of this talk today, and to get the word out and to share it. So tell us a little bit about what would you've already described the self-care services that you would recommend for young people, but how can this not only help them in their athletic performance, but how it can help them long term in their lifestyle, as a professional in life, or as a parent, as they age and in career, and wanting the best for themselves and the people that they love, because I think that's where it all begins. People, what is it? There's an old saying that, and I can't remember the saying, but in other words, you work in life because you want to live, right? You have to have some type of work in order to live, and you want to have a good career because you want to have a good life. So tell us about how this can help in the long term for young people. I think we lost your mic is off. We can't hear you. Did your mic go off? We lost the audio. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Yeah. No, and it's funny because of course the girls got on me about, well, what about us? And so we end up doing the girls volleyball team. So it is important across the board, like you said, as far as them getting the help that they need as well. So we are going to do something for the girls a little later, but I focus with the boys because, like I said, they are our leaders. They are our head. They have to know how to take care of our daughters, right? So we have to be able to train them and teach them. But like you said, even outside of that, what that does for them, it number one, when they get meditation and they get yoga, that gives them a safe place. That gives them a place to where they can really calm down and get into their quiet zone. And then if they do it at a younger age, it's not so much as, oh, what are you doing? It becomes their lifestyle. And the more
Lifestyle.
young boys that it becomes their lifestyle, because now they're friends, they're doing it together. Because guess what? When we're doing this meditation, it's not individual. They're in the room with all of their co-workers. You might as well say, their colleagues. So, and so as they continue to grow, it gives them the tools. It gives them the connections when you can say, hey, here's a social worker that may understand because she deals with sports. Hey, I need to take a break and breathe and do these stretches. What did I learn in yoga that could help me? And so all of this is when you plant that seed. That's what we have to do. We have to plant the seed and then allow it to grow. And it does go. That's just like in any sport. sports, their discipline actions is so that they learn about life with that. Learn how to
Right.
be team workers with and being on time and learning how to focus and knowing that it's a team effort. So it's not something that you could be selfish with. Like they get lessons out of those sports. So it's the same thing with
Absolutely.
self-care. If you could connect the self-care part with them understanding that it goes in with that, because guess what? When they get ready for that game and they stress because they may not be feeling the best. And guess what? These are 10-year-old these coaches, they on them. So so just imagine if they were able to just have that moment, or they got these things that they can say, okay, I remember this technique. They told me to breathe before they go hit that field,
Right.
or even when they lose the game. And, that's hard. Oh, it broke my heart when my babies lost the championship. They
Uh-huh.
got all the way to the championship game and
Uh-huh.
lost. And those
Right.
boys cried, and I think I cried with them. But we were
Well,
still able to have conversations with them.
I saw some grown people cry when the Lions got all the way to the so it's not just the
Yes.
young people. Okay, okay, go ahead. I
But
didn't mean to cut
yeah,
you.
so I mean, so like you said, it helps them throughout their life, because once again, it's something that will be planted. And so just imagine this keep growing. And so I've dealt with the young, the high school players. My son did an event. He did it's 7-on-7, and we went out of town. We traveled. And
Mhm.
I was just sitting in that field, and I was looking around and seeing all these young boys, right? And I'm like,
Mhm.
this is my new target audience. Look at this. They need to. So you know what I did? I did my research, and I went around and I asked the coaches, I asked the parents, I even asked the students, like, what do you do to get prepared or to self-care? And it was just nobody they were doing this. They said, oh, well, we just during the season, we just do a little ice therapy, or sometimes it's a little yoga or something. But it's nothing
Uh-huh.
that it's just okay when the season comes. It's nothing that
Comprehensive.
they look at, that this is a part of their lifestyle, and that they need this as they're growing and going further into their sports career. They know from even the coaches. Like I plan on, and this is one thing that you said that I do want you to know, is I do plan on making this nationally. We do plan on traveling. I'm working with a couple other states right now so that we can maybe
Oh,
implement it in their states, because across the board
nice.
we need to be able to spread this word. So my goal is to connect with other cities, other states, and introduce the program and just show them how I'm doing it, and maybe then they can implement it or help them to do it, however we need to do. But there is a need. It's just the process and getting there.
Okay, I knew you were an influencer. You laughed when I said that. But see, I didn't know you were
Well,
doing all that. Good
well,
for
it's funny
you. Yeah,
because
see?
I'm really a behind the scenes kind of person. So forgive me. This is kind of
New for you.
like my introduction. So I'm definitely, yeah, this is new for me. It's uncomfortable, I will say. But it's okay, because I know this is what I need to do. I know that if I want to take this to another level, these are the things, the platforms that I have to be on. So I'm coming from behind
Uh-huh,
and
uh-huh.
kind of being in the forefront so that I can get the word out.
Right. So what makes you feel most proud gives you the greatest the best feeling looking at everything you've done, what are you most proud of?
The
Would you say
results. The results,
you
as a
actually
massage
see so
therapist.
you can yeah, you see well, yes, people yes, that does feel good when you know that you've helped somebody and they tell you, I do corporate massage and sometimes people will come in and they look really tired or really kind of down and then afterwards they say, wow, I really needed that. So that's what you're saying, you seeing the results. So yeah, that is one thing. But have you had like, and you've also mentioned how the boys responded to the Pamper Day last year. And I wanted to say too, I noticed a difference when I did the massage. I mean, not the massage, the yoga for those young men. I was really impressed with how they responded and how they just, they seemed like they glowed afterwards, and especially glowed after the meditation. I was glowing after Chantel's meditation. I mean, that was the most beautiful meditation I think I had ever experienced. I do meditation for other people, but you don't always get a chance to experience it in a public event like that. I mean, I do it on my own, and that was really awesome. But do you get a lot of other testimonies, or what are some of the other benefits that people have said that they notice in the young men, or have you covered everything? Maybe you already covered everything in that area.
Well,
Can
no,
you think of any?
actually, no, actually, it's really cool that, because, like I said, I've been doing this. This is be my fourth year. So these young boys a lot of them, they have followed me every year. And
Oh,
I remember last year, one of the young boys, and I'm hoping to maybe get him to do a testimonial for me, but he was so upset. He cried because he didn't think he was going to make it, because his mother ended up having to work, and he didn't have a way. And I told him, I said, no matter what, I'm going to make sure you get here. And so his which I call him, his name is Coach. I call him Coach. He's also
okay.
been here from day one, and so I got a little surprise for him, but
Mm.
he made sure these boys came. And when I tell you, they still come up to me today. And one of the mothers, who her son, he came year two, but he didn't make it last year. She said, I don't care what we're doing. He is coming to that event. He missed last year, and he was so upset that he missed. He does not want to miss. And so I
Wow.
said, well, we're going to make sure that he's there, because it does something to their spirit. They love the way
Mm.
it makes them feel. It's like I say, it's so much more than what people think when it comes to these young men. We don't know a lot of times what they've been through in their life.
Right.
So we to just to know that from year one, and now we're going into year four, and next year it'll be year five. So we got to do it big. And they have
Right.
followed through and continue to participate. And another thing is, a lot of them were my son's football teammates. So
Mhm.
after that day, they would come up to me, oh, my knee hurt. My showing me all their little wounds, and I
Right.
would
Yeah.
have to, pamper them and get them together. And it also drew them to be closer to me, to feel comfortable enough to show me these wounds or whatever, or
Right.
to have a conversation with me. And of course, yes, like I said, I'm teen mom, so I'm always feeding them.
Mm.
Um,
Oh,
so
yeah. Okay.
so
The food is
that's
king.
that's
Cool.
another
Food is
job.
king and queen.
Yes, but yeah, I noticed that afterwards, it just drew them closer. They would, even if they seen me, they would come over and give me a hug and thank me.
Mm.
So it's those things to let me know that it sparked something in them, and it's following them, and that they value it, because they want to come every year. And so I've
Mm.
offered that to them, to come throughout the year, as well, that they can come. And like you said, sometimes financially, I know that could be the challenge, but I didn't want that to be an issue for them to experience that. So I always offer them to come and get the massage. So
So you need
therefore,
sponsors too. Do you have sponsors to help you? I know you have the one place that's helping you donate the location, but to keep this going, and my other question is, I know that the young men want to come once a year, but how do we get them to see that they can do this on their own on a regular basis, so they don't have to just wait for the year to come by and say, "Oh, I got to get there. I got to get there." So what's that? That's that next step.
yes, and
Is
and some of them do contact me. Like, some of my high schoolers will contact me, and I offer it to them, because, like I was saying, I know that there's a budget. Sometimes, if family may not be able to do that. It depends. Some that are into the well-being of being an athlete, they kind of get it, but that's not something that may be in a parent's budget. So I just, on the sideline, see them, with their parents' permission, and let them come, so that they don't just have that once in a lifetime experience, or waiting for that one time. But I would like, for number one, I am looking more for sponsorship always. I do have some that are coming, but I don't want to say say their name yet until we're confirmed. But I do have a more excitement of getting more help this year. I do have volunteers that have been signing up to help me with the event. So I really believe that we're definitely on the right track, and we're making moves. I know June 1st is right around the corner. So but it's gonna be set up very well, and I'm excited about the new sponsorships. And once we can really get this one, I really feel like once this one kind of does what it needs, we'll get more sponsorship as it becomes more noticeable.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We're actually almost at time, so go ahead and tell us any contact information, or if people want to reach out to you or find out more information, where can they find you?
Well, I do have a spot located in Southfield. I'm in 17515 West 9 Mile Road. We're located in the 9 Mile Crossing building, Suite 200. We do offer a variety of massage services. Like Laura said earlier, we do meditation sessions. We also do spa parties for not only the youth, but we do it for adults. They also can rent the space out. So we have a lot of different things that we offer here. If you need a massage session from me, definitely I'm taking clients at the moment. It will be closed in a minute for me accepting new clients, but you can always come. I'm on Instagram, Facebook at Serenity824 Massage, and just come in and follow me. And hopefully you'll see the value and want to be a part of it as well. If you have any young men who are interested, I can definitely get you it's on Eventbrite, but they can sign up for it, and that way they could participate in Pontiac.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. So that's Serenity 824 Massage Therapy on
Yes.
Instagram and Facebook. All right, thank you so
Yes.
much for joining us today, Leka. I really appreciate your time and look forward to everything that you got going on. So I want to thank my viewers and listeners. Please tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. for the Namaste Wellness Show. Other than that, stay safe, stay well. Namaste. Until next time.